guys enjoyed those garden shots from this morning. Some things did suffer during our extreme heat of July, but overall, I think it looks good. I'm making Ernie some breakfast burritos before he gets on the road back to Florida, and then I have a busy day. I need to get the new room cleaned out so that we can start on painting and decorating. I'm so excited to finally turn this room into something new. I've got 10 weeks before my son and daughter-in-law move here, but I need to get it done because I need to start fall decorating in September. I don't do it in August. I never have. I always feel like September is really early, but it feels better to do it in September. And I'm actually very excited this year to decorate for fall. So I have years where I go all out. I have years where I'm minimal. This is the year where I'm going all out. I'm so excited. So I'm hopeful that after I get that room cleaned out, I'm able to pull out my fall bins. I need to start going through that, kind of planning, deciding what I'm doing, that kind of thing. So anyways, it's going to be a busy day just getting that room emptied. I need to find some paint colors, so we're going to be going to the paint store, picking out some paint colors, getting them on the walls, and we are going to see what looks best in that room. I just had some leftover potatoes. I scrambled some eggs and I had some salsa. And so it's just potato and egg burritos. No big deal with a little bit of salsa in them. Just a couple of quick little things. He doesn't like to eat much before he gets on the road, but I made him eat these. You got to eat something before you get on the road. But he always stops and gets something for lunch. So just something to tie him over. So little tiny baby burritos. He loved them. They were delicious. But I'm very excited to get to this room. I can't wait to share with you guys. I can't wait to see it all pulled together. I can't wait to finally have my upstairs done. And that is getting me excited to fall decorate. Once my house is done, I'll be able to fall decorate. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm up here in the loft because we're going to be working in the room. We're going to work on getting it cleared out so we can get it painted. I'm so excited. But I wanted to do one thing before we get started. A few of you guys were so bothered by the fact that the lions were facing that way instead of this way. So I changed them for you, and I agree, it looks better. I just love them so much. Anyways, we have that room to clear out. Ernie has already removed my poor husband, the one who works all week and then he comes home and he has to do work at home too. Oh my God, the poor guy. And that horrible bourbon pillow, it's just terrible. It's all in fun. I'm just making fun of a comment that I got. I love this room so much. Every time I come up here, I'm like, chef's kiss, it's beautiful. And it got so much use on Sunday. Everybody came over. I told you guys in the last video that we were having a bunch of people come over. Everybody hung out up here. Oh, it was lovely. Ernie was a nervous wreck because the kids were up here. But he made a couple of changes that day. I'm going to show you guys. He hung this picture here, and I actually love it. I think it looks so good. I had considered this, but then I thought, oh, it doesn't really go with the theme. But you know what? It doesn't need to. It looks beautiful in here. And then he added my wrought iron horse to the bottom of the entry table, which looks so good. Ah, she's gorgeous. Just gorgeous. I love it. Okay, so this is the room. Oh, you can see Ernie moved the rack already. Now my son is coming to pick up this carpet, these two tables, and this table. Anything else I can think of while I'm removing. But I need to get all of this stuff out of here. I've got some patchwork to do on the wall. Lots of holes, and oh, I just can't wait to get this room going. And we're gonna try and get as much of this the pictures and stuff I'm probably just gonna put in the closet because I still need to find places for that. The desk is staying because that's gonna remain here in the room. This is where we put the rack right here. So we're gonna load that one up and get as much in here as possible. I'm very excited to get this done because once this room is empty, I will be able to start working on it, and I just cannot wait. So let me do a before of the room so that we have something to remember when it's all done. Oh my goodness. And I'll do another before when it's completely empty, but I don't know, just this big bulky stuff I will have to put in the hallway until my son comes to get it. But everything else, let's work on getting it taken out. I love working on projects. I hate the prep work though. And I had cleaned this room out once and, of course, turned it into a disaster zone again. But, it's good. It's good. It's all good. We have another neighborhood garage sale coming up in the fall, so I'll be able to get rid of a lot of this stuff. In the meantime, we're just going to put it in 2 sets of hands would be better right now. Spaces, where it makes sense. Not in here, but I'm just, the excitement of getting the room done is what's motivating me to get this part done. So there's that. It's always good. And I'm so happy that I have family that's able to take a lot of the big bulky stuff that need it and want it. That makes me really happy. Some of the things I wasn't ready to part with, like lamps, I am going to give them 2 of the lamps, but a lot of my other little lamps I'm not ready to part with because I like to switch my lamps out here and there. So I definitely wanted to keep those. But as I'm going, through all of this and taking it into the attic and putting it away and everything, I'm thinking, do I really want this? Am I going to really need this? I wish I had a place in my kitchen to store all of those trays. I don't. There's no room for them, and they're quite large, so they have to go in the attic. But like I said, I think I told you guys this, I think it was like in spring, I said, or it was approaching summer, and I said that I wanted to do a whole attic clean in the winter when it's cold. So I'd rather work in the attic when it's cold as opposed to when it's hot. And that's really, going to be very helpful for me because I have all those racks that I had in this room that I can put in there, and I can organize things so that it's easily accessible right now. And you'll see it's just going to be kind of a mumble-jumbled mess, kind of organized, but not really. Just because I don't want to be in the attic right now. It's just too hot up there. So I'll be able to organize things so that, if I'm entertaining, I want one of my big, like extra large charcuterie boards, I can go up there and get it. I know exactly where it's at. I do now. I know where it's at, obviously, and it's easily accessible, but you know what I mean, a more organized manner, and I'll be able to do that then. But when this room is done, my son and daughter-in-law have moved in. The loft is done. My house is done. The only thing I have left to do in my in my home, is our bedroom, rearranging it. And I still want to add pictures to my hallway. Now I have my stairwell, not hallway. I have those big white frames you're going to see. I'm not going to end up moving those because they hold a lot of family memories, but they don't have the newer grandkids in it. So I feel guilty putting them up on the wall because of that. So I'm trying to re-envision them, like how I can reuse them. And yeah, it's a whole thing. I never want anybody to walk in my home and feel like they are not, special. Like grandkids, I'm even Steven with all of them, and I want to make sure that if any of my grandkids walk in, they can see that their face is just as important as the other grandkids. I'm just kind of that kind of person. So I never want to hurt anybody's feelings. So and they're so little, they wouldn't even know, but I still want to see their precious faces up on the wall too. I don't know. How do you guys feel about that? I'm just weird, maybe. I don't know. Either way, they're great frames. I might take the photos out and reframe them and just get some pictures of the new kids, the new ones, and do a gallery wall somewhere in my hallway. I'm not sure. And I may use these frames in the guest room. I'm not sure in that aspect either. I've got all kinds of things brewing in my head on what I want to do and how I want to do things. And that's typically at this point in the project, that's usually where I'm at. I'm not set on anything right now. And so that's usually, where my brain goes at this point in the project. So it's crazy, but I'm not, I have a semi-design in my head of what I want the room to look like. The problem with me though is I typically will find things or, get a design in my head and then find out that some of the things I want just doesn't exist except in my head. Doesn't exist for me to buy. It's crazy. So that's kind of annoying, but like the decorating just has to come after I get the room painted and all the furniture placed. Then I just, everything else will come together and it'll all fall into place and it'll make sense. And maybe I'll make some decisions on the decor last minute, and it'll work out. Sometimes I have to see a space decorated to change things, tweak things, add things, take things away. It's just kind of how my brain works. So getting the room painted for me is big, and getting all the big pieces of furniture that I own right now in that room. Okay, that's important. The room is pretty much cleared out. I need to figure out what to do with these. These are my candles. I'm still trying to figure out, you guys. I haven't put any time or effort into it. In the meantime, my house smells great. Camera, equipment, and the desk. And then the sign here, which I'll take down. But feels good to have it all cleaned out, pretty much. This stuff is easy to move to the center of the room when I paint. So I put some of the smaller lamps in here, smaller pictures, and then all of my bags and pillows and stuff in here, and some craft supplies up there. This is all the stuff I'm gonna give to my son and daughter-in-law to take. So it's gonna stay here until he comes this week to get it. This is trash. This goes in the garage. All of these tools go in the garage, and this goes downstairs. And then, see, I even have all my packing stuff up here for the candles. And then I just filled the shelves up in here. So everything is full all the way to the top. Oh, it's warm up here. Okay, so that's good. That's half the battle. The second part of the battle is selecting a paint color. That for me is a big deal because I feel like once you get the color right, everything else just falls into place. And you want to make sure you get the color right. I was very nervous about the color we painted this loft area, and I love it so much, and I'm glad I put the effort into finding the right color because it just set the tone for the whole space, which is what I want the color to do in that room. So I'm gonna go find some colors that I've seen. The one that I showed you on my mood board, I'm gonna pick that color up. We'll see how it looks because this room, it's different lighting than all the rest of my house. It only has one window. So colors that I think might work might play too yellow, they might be too dark, I'm not sure. They might be perfect, one never knows. So I'm happy with having just that done. So the next step is finding the color, and then I gotta prep the walls, and we'll be doing that in this video. And everything that's left in there, like I said, I could just move to the center of the room, while I'm taking care of everything, no big deal. So I'm not too concerned about that. And once my son has all of this stuff moved out of the hallway, I'll be able to move some things over into that closet that's in the room they're gonna take over. Actually, no, I have to clean that closet out. What am I thinking? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm literally losing my filming space. So I might have to make room, do a better job organizing the closet in the guest room so I can get all that stuff in there. But either way, it doesn't matter. That's not gonna stop me from what I need to do right now. So let me go get some paint colors. I'll come home and we'll get those put on the wall, and you guys can help me decide if you love them or if you hate them. I'm home with my colors. It's gonna be tough because it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I only have one window. So I think this wall behind you guys will do that corner. Okay, this should be good. This is the color creamy that I had in that I showed you guys in my mood board. None of these colors are gonna probably look really different than the wall. I'll give you guys an up close look, but this is my plan. So I think I'll put them like right here. So this is creamy. Oh, it looks good. I like it. In Sherwin-Williams, this color here looked like, it's called City Loft. It looked like alabaster in the store. If I put alabaster and this one next to each other, they looked the same. In this room, it's pulling tan. You guys can see that. So this, to me, in the store, looking at these colors, they look white. Putting them on the wall next to white, the actual color, they definitely are not. The next color that I chose is Whitetail. And these are great. They're 4 for $14, I think, at Sherwin-Williams. And totally worth it because you can peel them off and move them around the room. And it's nice because you don't have to mess with paintbrushes. Last time I had to because I didn't have the colors I chose in these. You can order them, but I didn't want to wait. So anyways, these are really nice because they peel right off. I can already tell you that City Loft is out. I can already tell that. And that is Pearly White. Pearly White, Whitetail, Creamy. This is the one that I had on my mood board. And City Loft. The camera's having a really hard time focusing. Paint is so hard. I like the Creamy still. I feel like City Loft and Pearly White are too dark. So I think those two are out for sure. And it would be between these two. But the Whitetail, I feel like it's, I don't know. It's got a little too much yellow in it. The Creamy is so pretty. It's a really pretty color. Let me see if I can get a close up next to the white. Can you see that? I mean, I hope it's not blurry. I'll put my hand here. Sometimes that helps if you put your hand. But it's just, this one is just pulling too yellow. You can see that. This one is pulling too gray. This one's my favorite still. And this one's too dark. No. That's a no. It's funny because all 4 of these colors looked identical in the lights at Sherwin-Williams. I was like, oh, I'm boring. I'm picking out the same color over and over, but they are definitely not the same color. I'm still loving the Creamy because it has enough warmth in it without being too bright or too yellow like that one. I don't know if this is annoying or not, but it's definitely, I don't know, it's the perfect color. Cozy, but bright. I don't know. How do you explain that? Don't know. I think I'm still leaning on Creamy, but I'm gonna wait for Ernie to come home, just like I did in the loft, and I'm gonna see what his opinions are. I feel like I definitely feel like Pearly White and City Loft are too gray. Creamy is, it's still light and airy, and it'll give me the feeling that I want, but it'll still show up against the trim right here. See? It's just the slightest shade over. So it's not white, it's warm, and it's just enough, tint in it to make the baseboards and the door and the trim and everything and the shutters stand out. Yeah, I think that's the color. I feel like that's going to be just perfect it's going to be easy to pair with curtains or the bedding or that kind of stuff. But I might just have to go shopping for the bedding. It turns out the bedding that I chose from Pottery Barn, I'm not buying that. I had mentioned to you guys I had it years ago from Pottery Barn, but it was when we did a remodel on our house, our very first house. So I had a budget for redecorating after that remodel, and so I used some of that money to buy that bedding. It was costly then to me. That was in the 90s, and now it's even more ridiculous. If I can find something like that, and I've been looking and looking, and I haven't. I also want the bedding to be really comfortable, so I don't want like any polyester or anything like that. But I might need to get the bedding too with that. So I might need to do that this weekend. So maybe in the next video, we will tell you guys what paint color we chose. And we'll get the walls prepped, we'll paint, and I'll show you guys the bedding. Maybe, I'm not sure. I never know how things are gonna go or what I'm gonna be able to get filmed. But I know I said I was gonna prep the walls today, but I need to go in the garage and find the spackle and all that kind of stuff. So I do believe that creamy is going to be the color though, for sure. Definitely. I like it. I got a lot of work on these walls to do, but it's going to be fun because remember, once I get this room painted, it's on. Very exciting. Very excited for this project. I hope you guys are too. Many of you guys have said that you are, so I'm happy about that. But yeah, anyways, I want to thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you got some motivation to clean a room in your house that looked like mine. I know, I'm one of a kind. I don't know, I move decor around from room to room to room and I always end up having to do these massive clean outs, but hopefully this is it. Now that all the rooms have purpose, I don't have places to store a bunch of crap, so I'm gonna have to start purging and getting rid of stuff. So that's that. Anyways, thanks so much for staying till the end, guys. I appreciate you and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.